Well, hello. This is an invitation for you to join me and some others in working through the New Testament book of Romans, Paul's letter to the Christians who met in the capital city of Rome. I started out calling it Reading Romans with the Preacher, which sounds a little arrogant now that it's out there floating around. What I really wanted to say probably is reading Romans with each other. Reading in community is the goal of this. Even if your community ends up being an online community, continue to listen. Romans has been a very influential book of the Bible throughout Christian history. Most theological giants wrote commentaries on it, made it a focus, based major arguments on what they read in Romans. Early on, Origen wrote a commentary on it. St. Augustine found in Romans ways to work through his guilty conscience. Reformation leaders made it the basis for their protests against the church. Luther finding in Romans justification not by works but by faith alone, and John Calvin using chapters 9 through 11 as the basis for his doctrines actually of predestination. John Wesley's conversion experience came while listening to a sermon from, you guessed it, the book of Romans. Karl Barth, the most influential theologian of the 20th century, found in Romans a guiding theme for all his theological work, and that is the righteousness of God. So Romans has been a big deal and a theological discussion starter for its entire 2,000 years. But because it has drawn so much attention, it comes with some baggage attached. In this reading class, I don't suppose that we can actually come to a real, clean, perfect reading of Romans, but I think we can work our way at least partly back to the text, listen to what others are saying about the letter, alternative readings of it, and then freshen our own understanding a bit. If nothing else, I think we can test those ideas that we do bring to the table against other ideas. Which brings me to this: because this class will be a challenge for everyone, don't be intimidated if you don't know anything about Romans or have any preconceived notions about it. In fact, you may be ahead of everybody else. All of us will sort of be brought back to basics through this study. So all that is to say that everyone, not just longtime students of the Bible, but also rookies, are invited in and can no doubt bring something to the table. Because I've wanted to include as many folks in this as might conceivably be interested, I'm trying to create several points of entry for this experiment in reading. Several ways to engage. 3 primary facets here. Okay, number 1, a fairly traditional classroom setting. I anticipate 8 weekly 1-hour in-person meetings. These are meetings that we're currently trying to coordinate, that will start next week, I think, the week of August 21st, 2022. And if you wonder why I threw the date out there, I think you'll see why I mentioned the date in a minute. Anyway, stay tuned. If you want in, let me know, and I'll let you know what the option or options turn out to be. I'm thinking we might end up with 2 different gathering times each week so that people can choose one of the 2, even flip-flop back and forth if they want to. So that's number 1, the class. Number 2 will be an online catalog of short blocks of teaching that, for want of a better term, I'm going to call lecturettes. I'm really starting to like that term, lecturette. These 5 to 12 minute blocks of recorded teaching focused on particular issues that are related to the letter. I will include this intro as the first of those, and it's going to be set up sort of like whosoever will, may, whensoever they want, consult these bits of teaching, learn from them, or just ignore them. And soon I'll make a holding location for those blocks of teaching known, and I will point you in that direction. And then number 3, additionally, I will open up a blog entry each week. I think I've got a site where I can still do that. And the entries will be based on what was read during the in-person session, plus comments and questions that were offered during that. That blog will allow for additional comments from people who did not participate in the in-person reading time. In fact, you don't even have to follow the in-person reading schedule. You can follow along with those readings at your own pleasure or displeasure. And actually, by the miracle of the internet, you will probably be able to start the class a month from now or next year if you want, and still chime in and ask questions and comment. And I think those comments will eventually draw my attention and I can respond to them later, which means I hope reading Romans with the preacher doesn't come to an end in 8 weeks. I hope it continues for a while, that it's sort of creates fertile ground that we can talk from for some time. So that's the plan anyway. I'll call your attention to what's happening in subsequent New Hope emails, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.